I hear the voices inside my head, see voices behind the wall, uplifting the underdog, we fighting above the law.
Deep diving into these cases is like dancing with the devil. But when you dance with the devil doesn't change. He changes you.
Can everybody hear me all right? Hi, Sage, Cool Gamer, Black Widow. Sorry, you can hear the kiddos in the background. Nana's Dragonfly, Megs, Eve, Patty Ponytail, Marty, Fox Mulder, Zigzag, High Priestess. Who am I missing? David, if you're still in here. Taylor. Hi, Sage Sleuth. Jaded, hello, boo. German Shepherd Mom. Sally Carson. Good to see you guys. Hi, Minky. Minky. That's cute. Sassy Britches. Mandy TNT. Stacy. Charm. Why do I feel like I haven't seen you in a while? Well, I went back and forth about doing this live, you guys. I went back and forth in my mind, in my heart, and I'm like, well, we're going to talk about it. Hey, Cassius. Sheila. I'm going to be a little more calmer than last night. I'm going to try and cuss a little less tonight, but, you know, it's a little aggravating. Hey y'all. Wandering, good to see you. Does anyone want to take a link? Tomorrow we're going to get back to cases, okay? But I've pinned the link if anyone wants to chitty chat up here. They sure can. Coco, hi baby. Hi. Okay. Does Allie have a mugshot? Just curious. She has the same charges as Cam, but not a mugshot. But yes, she was arrested with Cam and has the exact same charges as Cam. One second, sorry, I'm texting Dawn back. Okay. Half pint, Chris. So, this morning, I wake up and I do the usual. Before I even get out of bed, go do everything, I pick up my phone, right? Don't we all? And then I check my emails first before I go on the YouTube streets and see what happened in, you know, the 6 hours that I dared to go to sleep. Because, sleeping in these streets is dangerous. Hey, Annabelle, Brianna. I wouldn't say necessarily, not trash. Not trash. Just, not trash. They probably trash themselves enough right now. But we aren't hearing true stories. And in fact, I'm learning that everything I was told from day one when I met Cam and Allie is basically lies. Cam, told me that he ran for the cartel and used to sell cocaine for the cartel and he's done prison time for it, which is not true. That was all made up. I'm not sure why you would make something like that up. Yes, exactly, Jaded. We want Cam and Allie to do better. We want them to get healthy. I do not want to turn on the YouTubes one day and hear one or both passed away. And that's actually what I'm more afraid of. Everything else to the side. That's what I'm more afraid of. When Evil entered, hello. Thank you. I want to listen, but I am here for them. Yep, and this isn't to trash Cam and Allie because, listen, it takes one to know one. I never did the heavy shit that they're hooked on, but, for me, I guess, hey sis, cotton candy boobs, hi when evil entered, hi everyone. For me and many of you, I'm sure, that are a part of this platform, either still continue to struggle or have had past struggles, right? That's why we all get along so well. We know real life is tough and we can only take it one day at a time. So no, this isn't to bash them. Please don't bash them because honestly, addiction's hard on everybody, especially this kind of shit. So it's affected an entire family. Cam, Allie, children, parents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, like a family, an entire family, okay? I wish he wouldn't post on his channel. I wish he would just forget about YouTube for a little while and worry about themselves. Hi, Katie. Hi, Casey. Not sure why he's posting on his, yeah. But the only thing I want to see there is negative drug screen or some actual honesty. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I know that, so, you just never know who's watching you. And because Cam and Allie have a channel, they have loved ones and people close to the loved ones that support and watch, which means they got to know some of us too. And yes, somebody was in my emails and wanted things kind of set straight. And also, I have to say, the sources are super scared for Cam and Allie, which makes me scared for them in return. Hi, Pauline, Susan. They need to get healthy and better so they can be the parents that I think they want to be. I don't know Cam and Allie enough to hate them that much that I am enjoying seeing this. Even though they've talked a lot of shit about me or numerous other people, that's fine. But this isn't something I wish on anyone. There's children affected. There's loved ones. Hey, crimes have consequences. Exactly, Sheila. Everyone does have their own devices. And so I did, hear that Allie tried to get Cam off of stuff. And when that didn't work, I guess it was easier for her to just join him. And man, that is sucky. And it's sucky for both of them. We all now know Cam's record, which, you know what? People were like, well, that was out there. You know what? Yeah, like now I've seen it. But even as much as I disliked some of the things that they did and some of the moves they made, well, at this point, you know, I blame it on the drugs, because are you really in control of yourself if you're hooked on doping yourself up and having your kids walk in on that and witness that? Mommy doping up daddy, daddy doping up mommy, and daddy doping up himself sitting on the toilet. Like, no, you know, and that's shit they cannot ever erase from their memory, probably, even though I hope to God they can. It would be hard as a married couple, absolutely. But again, I don't want to turn on YouTube one day and find out, oopsie, Cam gave too much to Allie. She's dead now. Oopsie, Allie gave too much to Cam. He's dead now. Oopsie, they got some wrong shit, and maybe it's got a touch of fucking fentanyl in there or something. I don't know. But this is all stuff I do not want to hear or see. They need stability and to feel safe. Yes. And right now they have that, and they do feel safe. I also can say that I don't think, from what I'm being told from the source, that the family will keep the children as long as it takes for them to get clean. But they don't want to be the parents. They want to be the grandparents, the aunt, the uncle, you know? So I know everyone, Cam's actually blessed with people, whether he wants to admit it or not. And sometimes when you're struggling with that, especially as deep as they're in it, that's hard to see. And you're just angry at everybody and at life and at your damn selves, really. So you project it onto others. Well, family members, Mystic, in general. All family, aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever. It affects the entire family, okay? And yes, Cam has siblings, brothers, so his kids have uncles. Well, he did, Casey, but that's, it's just not really true. Cam said also that he's been homeless living in a box, and that's just never been true. Cam has a millionaire grandmother who's always made sure that everybody's fine. Now, when people start seeing the decline and what money's going to, yeah, a little bit less gets given to you because they don't want enabling. In fact, I know loved ones, like, don't want them being enabled by YouTubers and stop sending them money because it's not going to the children. It's not always going to their rent until it's too late. And then other people help bail them out of that too. Like, let's be all the way real. So it's very sad, scary. Cam knows very well CPS did not just steal those babies. He knows very well because he signed papers. So there was no kidnapping, no stealing of his children. Hi, Diana. Because of court dates and stuff coming up in, October for them, November for the children, they won't even, they've been denying taking tests. They don't call their kids every day, even though they're open to calling the kids. Like, they're allowed to call their kids every day, but they don't. Okay? They will not. They've been asked to take drug tests, and both Allie and Cam have denied them. So they aren't obviously clean or they would take those tests, right? Well, it was a lot more than that, crimes, but I cannot say everything that I've been told because courts and stuff coming up. So they need to figure out a plan, Cam and Allie. And also, like, it sounds like Cam has called family members, according to the source, telling family members to stay out of the YouTube BS and not to say anything to any YouTubers and to just, ignore it all. But he's at the same time trashing family members on his YouTube channel. That's crazy. The family watches. So you better hope you're telling the truth, knowing your family is watching. She had one, I'm not sure. She might still have a medical license, but it sounds like... Now, she had said that to, close people, according to sources, that she told people close to them, hi Broken, that she quit her job because the hospital put her with COVID, not victims, what is the, clients, I guess, clients. And then the next day wanted to put her with newborn babies, and she was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But if you honestly think about it, people, that's obviously a lie, because wouldn't a hospital know better than to freaking do that, right? There's going to be measures to do. So the truth of it is, it sounds like everyone was getting too high, and she just stopped going to work. She didn't make a lot of her work, and they were just done with it. Stop enabling by sending the money. This is something that, yes, I agree, because it's not going to what people think it's going to. That $8,000 they're trying to fundraise so he can leave state to go start another job, which was like half a year ago when they started it. Why do they still have that fundraiser up? Right? So I think that started right around the time of the CPS stuff starting, to be honest. They started that fundraiser. So I get the feeling, and, this is just my feeling, were they trying to go on the run? I don't know. Like, Allie's the only one with a driver's license. Cam can't get a license for years to come because he keeps getting pulled over on suspended and licenses taken away, found with drugs and alcohol. Cam has given drugs and alcohol many times, if you look at the arrests, to minors, which is also scary. Okay. Which makes me worried. He had minor kids in the house. What the heck? So I don't know. Habitual offender. Yes, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse over time. And you can almost see the worse and worse, the more drugs, It's honestly just sad. And we've all seen it. We've all witnessed it. Cam and Allie can lie, but we've all got the recordings. We can literally see when his drugs hit him, and he's can't open his eyes, and he's fading out on live and screaming for Allie to come rescue the situation when she's, So yeah, it is hard. We've been witnessing it for over 2 years in front of our faces, and everybody fucking knows it too. That's what, people around them are like, holy shit, people have to see this, and everyone's supporting it. 16,000 subscribers over there, and half the comments are, oh, Cam, Allie, it's okay. No bullshit, you guys, because that is enabling. I'm sorry if I'm the bitch, And I'm going to choose some tough love because, no, again, I don't want to hear that Cam and Allie is passed or one or the other or both. Unfortunately, that's very possible in the situation they're in. They are hooked on harsh shit, you guys. Heroin. No, Don Wells is not his dealer. This is exactly why I told Don Wells to stay the hell out of this publicly, whether Cam's his friend or not, because this is not a good look. It's not. And if Cam's any friend for real to Don Wells, he'll stay the hell away from Don Wells for right now too, until they clean and sober themselves up. That's how I feel, and I am not going to sugarcoat it for anyone. Prayers for the entire family. Cam, Allie, his entire family members, the children, because again, this affects the entire family. The entire family. You can't call your kids to check in on them, but you can try and get a hold of who that. Hold on, let me see what the source said. I think they said he tried to get a hold of his mom and tell her, like, stay off of the YouTubes. Don't talk to anyone off YouTube unless you hate me. But meanwhile, he's posting craziness about his family on his YouTube. So that's very weird to me. That's very weird to me. Could be, yeah, arrested for manufacturing, yeah. There is when evil entered. I mean, it's in front of our faces, even with some people we don't even know or see. And that's unfortunate. But you know what? We've all known this for a long time. I didn't need no sources in my email. Okay? I didn't, because we've heard it. We've seen it. Right? So, yeah, there's a lot I'd want to say to you guys, but they are looking at serious time, and I think they both need to go to jail. I think they both need to go to jail. I don't think rehab, no, 30 days is enough for these people. It's not. A regular rehab facility isn't going to be enough for these people. And I'm just being honest. Hey, Yoper. They both said some things about his mom. Hi, Be the Bean. They both said some things about his mom that has everyone questioning her now. If she's done her time and made changes, that's not fair in my opinion. Squids, yes. You know what? His mom has a little bit of a history too. I asked the source what was that, because Cam had on his community post something about she got Cam hooked on drugs, blah, blah, blah. And I asked the source, because the source is a direct link to Cam's family. And, you know, they did some checking, and yeah, unfortunately, it's not true. From my understanding, Cam's mom has never shot Cam up at all. I'm gonna probably get an email or so tomorrow with exactly what Cam's mom, but from like the sounds of it, she did get in trouble. She didn't sell pills, but there was an instance, I believe, where a lady that she had known had a miscarriage, and I think, how did they say it? Cam's mom had pain meds because she was in a very bad accident, and so she gave two pills of whatever pain med to this person, who was also in return going to give like some, I can't remember, guinea pig or something like that to her for one of her children's then. But anyways, yes, it ended up being a setup, and she did get arrested and she did her time. But you know what? she's passing things to have the children in her care and all that. So that's years ago. And again, very different than what Cam and Allie. I see you, bro. I see you. Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
You're such a nerd.
So, I sent you a little something.
Yes.
Can you pull? Is there a way you can pull that up, or are you just on your phone?
Well, no, I'm on the computer. Let me see for a second. Oh yeah. Yeah. Listen, I'm like saying, like, I'm not trying to just ream out Cam and Allie because I seriously want them to get help, but you know, some tough love might be needed.
So I reached out to the dude, and we talked for about 5 minutes, and
Really?
yeah, and I kind of got to the bulk of it, and he hung up. So I just texted him back, and I was like, man, you know, I never have been one of those ones to say, like, I'm here for you, like, I'll talk to you.
Right.
Right. As soon as you tell somebody in desperation mode that you're here for them, they're going to expect for you to go down with them, kind of like the Titanic stuff. And it's just dangerous. But this video right here, there was one thing that really drove a few people sort of mad. And one of the things that drove Tiffany mad, and I really picked up on it after it just sort of was over and over and over, was the smoke alarm. I went through a treacherous fire with my mom and my ex-wife, and lost a lot of animals and the whole house and all the heirlooms. And this video here is very representative of the very real fear. And I hate to say it, but that damn Tiffany Marie, she certainly knows. She can see some things. We're not omnipotent, but this video right here, to this channel here, I think it was Crappy Crime or whatever. This is Cam basically nodding out with a cigarette in his hand. And he's got the kids there. You know, that was always one of my problems. Now, of course, me and Cam's issue started when they had a search and Cam brought beer and pizza up there. And I thought, well, you know, I told him, I said, Cam, you know, it's like bringing crack to a crackhead or heroin to a heroin addict. You know, you just can't be involved in that while you're trying to do all this. And when I saw this video is probably now about 40 minutes old. I never saw the original because after it got to a certain point, there wasn't anything you could say.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of us, I think, have the same one. Is this the same one too, where he starts to nod off and then he acts like he was praying, but he can't even open his damn eyes?
No, this one is I don't know. I got this sort of insinuation that maybe he might be trying to pass this off as some sort of medical event. However, I think that it's very clear what it was, but the guy's got a cigarette burning. And when I first saw that he smoked in the house, I'm a smoker, you know, it's not even hypocritical of me to have this opinion because I do not smoke in the house. I do not smoke in the car when my son is in the car. None of those things. So when I saw this behavior, I thought, well, man, damn, like, unless you're just every second of the day have a cigarette in your hand, should be able to dedicate that, 5 to 7 minutes to being outside for a few, and then come back in and get back to it. But this was the very real danger. And then it's sort of weird how the smoke detector, in my opinion, was the thing that gave them up. They became so used to hearing that beep from the smoke detector, they couldn't hear it. And when they went back to that house,
y'all, it's like that Michelle chick who literally gets messed up on her live streams, and she's got that gas stove, and all you can hear is click, 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 and it's like, this bitch is gonna burn her house down.
And I just, I won't go into the specifics of, and I don't know if you have, but that's not for me to talk about the specifics of why he's in trouble. I know why the gentleman is allegedly
I'm not
gonna
say any that I'm. I can't.
It's not
say
for us
everything,
to talk about,
right? And
but
but
you know why they're in trouble, right? And then you see this behavior right here. It just is very strange. And I'm not here to point out flaws, but I noticed that I saw a few recent pictures of Allie, and it just noticed like it seemed like I noticed that she was losing some hair in the top of her head, and it looked like a pretty rough situation. And I want Cam to know that I'm praying for you, bro. I'm praying for Allie. I'm praying mostly for your kids too, but I'm praying for all of y'all over there. I don't want to see anything bad happen. When I found out that the kids were with his mom, it raised an eyebrow for me because I had a lot of conversations with Cam, privately, and like here, they're not going to place a child with you if you have a felony and you've been to prison and you've had drug problems, and that's not a real viable option. As a record, in the past. I don't know how they do it there in Virginia. I mean, remember when we were doing the SDA stuff, looking at the catalog, Virginia wouldn't even show the kid's face in the catalog. So
Right.
I don't know. I was a little bit perplexed by that. And I don't know enough about all of their the statutes and all of that stuff to really even talk about it. But
Yeah. So I know he says yesterday, maybe some stuff today. I honestly haven't looked at his channel today because I just don't know if I can. But he was claiming yesterday that his mom just quit her job the day before taking the kids. And it's all about money, money, money. Well, unfortunately, 2 kids, age 9 and 7, and she's only getting $385 a month for 2 kids, y'all. That's not a lot, okay? That's
it's
not
definitely
nothing to
not
quit a job
motivated
for.
by money.
Exactly. So he needs to stop with this.
And the one thing that he did allow me to get in the conversation, I said, man, and I actually was just had got off the phone with someone else, and I said, let me make this call. So I gave him a call, and he let me tell him, I said, man, if I had the opportunity to sort of level the playing field for myself and tell leave a Post-it note for myself in the future, is like, man, when you're having issues, of any sort of array, you need to keep them off the internet.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. And know when to step away. You should not be I don't know if advocating is the right word, but you can't be. I'm sorry, but do you think you should be around the wells right now or trying to help Summer's case or any case? Because they can't even help their own selves right now.
I think probably everyone, and again, there's a lot of aspects of their situation that I know of that I will not speak on. And I think that that's a lot different than what I know he's done to me in the past. And of course,
I know it's really hard. I know because it would be
but it's
easy
not
to
actually
come on
hard
here
for
and
me
bash
this
them,
time.
but
you know what I mean? Like, I thought like, oh yeah, and I did. I put out a video on one of my alternate channels. It's called Tragedy Hoes Exposed for anyone who wants to know. Over on that channel, I put out a disagreement that Cam had with Allie, and on there, you can actually see how so strangely in that scenario they made Tiffany a bad person because she came over and was like, Cam, what are you doing?
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Tiffany was honestly just worried for Allie. Like, where is she? Like, almost
Absolutely.
like a wellness check, it sounded like.
And those people started cursing her, and it was just the wildest thing. And it's sort of like in the end, it was like Allie came on and it was one of the, chasing truth things. Like, she just didn't see it. But I don't know, I didn't see it. I was cooking, and it's like, wow, man, there's a lot going on. And, again, like, Cam, I pray for you, bro. I really do, because these sort of situations are a lot easier to get into than you think. But they are extremely hard to get out of. And I did some look on his paperwork, like they're going to spin the wheel with the defender's office. And so they got a lot going on. I know a lot of people have probably looked at the arrests.com or .org rather. And you see that the Cam has a mega pack of arrests. So this could end up being sort of problematic. And as I understand it, there is it 2 charges per child?
Yes.
So those are
up to 5 years each charge. So that puts it at 20 years each on Cam and Allie.
Yeah. So 10 for each child.
Yeah. And honestly, I think they need to do probably, just to come out healthy, maybe 2 years.
You know what I would love to? I
Because
would
no
love
30
to
days in rehab is helping these two. I'm sorry, it's not.
I don't know enough about Allie to really speak on it, but I know Cam has really put his business out there, and so it's a little less reckless to speak on his situation than hers. So to lightly touch on his situation, he may need a longer term scenario. I don't know. I know that the two of them met while she was working in a substance abuse facility, and he was a client. So there was already that ethical
already wrong
situation
there,
right? And so to be completely honest with you, what I would love to hear is there was some sort of mix up, like they say, and that they come back and every single thing that we've seen can be explained away with some medical. I mean, that's the best case scenario, and I would want the best case scenario for Cam's kids, and then Cam and Allie collectively in that order too. And if that were the case, and God could provide that, where everything we heard isn't exactly what it is, and that everything isn't as terrible as it sounds for the kids, right? Like I know I'm not going to sit here and say that Cam and Allie don't love their kids. I just feel like that, and this is all my opinion, I feel like that they were probably in some sort of restructuring phase, and the Summer Wells thing splashed into their life, and I think that it just became consuming, as it did for so many people. So many of us here tonight still have been completely consumed.
It's hard on all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was, from my talkings, I think that they were doing good for a little bit, but then it was very obvious to people who love them both, something bad was going on. And then, allegedly, according to the source of a family,
Right.
the family, kids witnessed stuff and more. So his past record is not going to be helpful to him. Allie might have a better shot at getting out before Cam does. I don't know.
One of the things that I think that even Scott H would say at this point in time is that the two of them, what they really need to do is they need to get away from each other as quickly as they can, because if you have any intentions on getting sober, you're not going to be able to achieve that together. You're going to have to separate. There are so many reasons why you do not, but mainly that has to do with codependency.
Codependency and addiction go hand in hand. And
if Cam has a bad day, or vice versa, then the other is going to have a bad day.
Yeah.
There's not that positive reciprocation. Like, well, you're having a bad day, I'm going to go out in the world and have a great day. Hope you feel better. And that's not going to control the depth or the speed of your day. So it's, I mean, even in the AA, NA world, they're going to tell you cannot get sober with someone. You cannot, you're supposed to wait at a minimum of 1 year before you even enter into a romantic relationship after being sober, but they would prefer 2 years.
Got to start off with a plant, people, for like
a year
exactly. Or two, and then you get yourself a pet, okay, for like a year or two, and then you
keep those two things alive and keep them from killing each other.
And then you can think about dating.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, that doesn't really fit the domestic design and dynamic that everyone would wish for them and that they would wish to have. But as I understand it, like, you got to put Cam and Allie, you got to put one foot forward at some point, because it's bigger than you two.
I just want to pull up this hater comment. Benny always wants people to separate because he is LMAO. First of all, you should be blocked just for being an idiot. You clearly have no research or anything about how addiction works.
Boron. Imagine that. I think you misspelled your last name.
So do some research before coming in this chat and leave a comment like that, please. Okay.
No, I mean, statistically, it just, I don't know, but it's in the high 90s. Like, it just does not work when two people are codependent, and they slip up together.
Yep.
It's just not going to work. So you have to get your own. You got to get some clean time separate, away from all of the complications of your romanticism, right? You have to actually kind of divorce yourself from that for a minute, get back to your life, get straightened around, and then get back to the kids. And you guys can always be a married couple at any time after all of that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. The main thing has to be their health, being clean, and
For
then
sure.
their children, and then
For sure.
each other, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Which, it goes against the biblical design of, the biblical clock. It's supposed to be God, your spouse, and then everything else after that. But in this scenario, the spectrum sort of is bent a little bit, where you've got to put the kids first and your marriage and all of that last, because you've got the dynamic of substance. Now, if you didn't have the dynamic of substance and this was something different, then you guys really could lean into each other. But you've got the complication of the substances and all of the the things that spawn from that. So you're going to have to get right first. It's just like going down in the plane, right? They tell you got to put the mask on yourself first before you put it on your children. You can't be helpful to anyone else if you're not right. So that's not going to be, there's not a 1 in a million design for these two. It's pretty textbook. They got to go through the motion now. So I didn't get an opportunity to kind of get that out. And Cam, if you're watching, bro, like, I am here to talk to you. I'm not going to be one of them people that, for instance, is going to cuss and holler at people around that's enabling you.
Right.
You got some enablers around you, bro. You got plenty of help already. You don't need my help.
Yeah, because what they don't need, neither one of them, are the people that are up their butts and blowing smoke up it, because they truly, like, family is afraid that one or both are gonna die. It's bad. Cam can't even wear a short sleeve t-shirt anymore because he's got tracks all up both arms. In fact, he's hitting veins in his legs now, and he's running out of veins. So that's when my mom started hitting veins in her neck and ran out of veins there and lost 70% of her damn neck and throat before she died. And she did that shit until she died. Chose that shit over me, which is why she died to me when I was 11 years old. And then she died, no kidding, a year before I could have met her, dumbass. She died. Right, I found out actually the day before I met my dad, which was crazy. That bitch loved that shit more than me to her grave. And I don't want to see the same for Cam and Allie.
There's those that in the book, they call them the unfortunates. This way past low bottom, right? You've got your low ball, your low bottom, your low rank addict or drunkard.
Because maybe they didn't have the same situation, Terry.
Sure. Some people got to lose everything. Some people can get a warning by the police and then walk into the rooms the next day and say, "Yeah, no, I almost got a DUI, and hell, I'm a bread delivery truck driver or whatever it is, right? I can't lose it all. One DUI, I'll lose it all." And then you got those people that's drinking Pine Sol and hand sanitizer and shit, straining it through bread. So it's got you got your super blue collar, you got your white collar, and then you got that rank dude that's going to live in the street and doesn't give a shit. So Cam and Allie, we definitely don't want you to be, you don't have to lose everything. You don't have to be the low ball, the low bottom. Like, you could pull up at any time. And I just, again, I'm there to speak with you, whatever I could do, the same way I try to help you navigate even getting into the YouTube, because I know a lot of people out there that are here for the entertainment won't even sort of accept the viable excuse of, well, the YouTube and the pressures, because they have no idea. The sort of things that you become accustomed to that these folks would never, like, you got to have such a thick skin to be here, especially if you're going to have an opinion that isn't with the herd.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're going to be terrorized. You're going to have people call CPS on you and all of those things. And it's really strange, because the legitimate people here that are got some stuff going on in their life, I just put in cracking cases CPS, And it's been a handful of people throughout the course of this thing that they've had issue. Molly Golightly was one. BHB was one. Seems like maybe at that time, Justin was mixed in with all of it, and he was questioning Molly about, have you called CPS? It was a handful of people that was going at them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I am pretty close to Justin these days, and
now I'm not
don't
saying
think,
that Justin had any involvement.
Yeah,
in
no,
that.
I don't
However,
think he was very happy with some of the behavior.
No, that's I mean, in fact, Molly called and he stated right on her live. He knew he was live. He said, "I don't want to be involved in that."
Yeah.
Yeah, he separated himself. But I tried to tell him that here, like, if you've had a past and you're susceptible or stress is the number one killer. If you're susceptible to stress, and that'll take you to other places. Like this place certainly has a smorgasbord. It's a buffet of stress.
Yeah,
so
it's freaking hard. And you go, he's supporting the Wells and you get the hate. Trust me. Yeah. I've slipped up several times too,
It's,
but it's hard.
Right. And then you've got the people here that don't even understand the dynamic of that, but also will tell you, oh, that's not a good excuse, Cher, but don't even understand.
I don't give a shit. All I can be is real. And that's why I feel comfortable talking to something like this. Because I'm always one to say, this person is doing this. And I always say, takes one to know one. I put myself there. I've never hidden shit. Benny, there's been times where a couple times in the past, 27, we're going on 28 months damn near, where I've texted you like, bro, I fucked up. Yeah. So.
For sure.
It ain't easy, but then again, you have to learn like I do. I left my channel alone for months, a while ago. You have to truly pick what's important to you. And if it looks like right now it's a YouTube channel over themselves and their children, and that's hard to watch.
It is. And it would be a little less hard to watch, I guess. It would be, maybe what you would expect out of someone that maybe wasn't guilty of whatever those charges mean to you people. But that person would probably have a top-notch lawyer and would have been in a scenario that was much different than this. And so when they speak out, it's a lot more architecturally, it's more put together than what we saw on his community page. So you gotta envelope all. You gotta lick it, stick it, and send it in the mail, bro. Like this is not gonna work with you coming on the internet. Because let me tell you what, when you pop up in that court, everything you said on the internet or in the text to people, this is gonna be in a big binder. You'll be looking at it, bro.
Oh, it's for sure being used in court. Everything that he's been posting is definitely being
absolutely
used. And no, y'all don't say sorry for me in the chat, by the way. I'm fine with it. Trust me.
And I would tell you, Cam and Allie, in my experience, a dirty test is better than refusing the test.
Right.
You're better off to have a dirty, in this scenario, you're better off to comply. The actual compliance that you're testing is going to mean the difference, right?
Because won't they keep testing and they'll see the levels are either going up or down, right?
Yeah. I don't know how they do it there, but I'm guessing at this point it could be even something as stringent as a 17-point hair test or maybe even a fingernail test. I don't know how deep they go, but I would guess that at the very least a hair test, maybe a 12 or 10 point something. I don't know all the increments, but it even goes higher than a 17 point. I think it goes to a 32 or a 34 point. So you can really, they're very precise, although there are ways to sort of manipulate that. So some states have now elected to go to what's called a fingernail test. And right now there's, from what I understand, no way to beat that. So it's, you're better to comply, man. Comply, get your first one down. And then, by the time you test again, your levels, if you're doing the right stuff, your levels are going to be going down, and they can see the trend and they know you've stopped. And that's what it's going to take, man. You're not going to be able to pop back on the scene, Cam, with a clean test and, clean urine and clean hair and clean nails, and really explain to them why you stayed away. You're going to have to come in, you're going to have to bite the bullet, take the lump, get that dirty piss test down, and then start building from there, bro. It's what you're gonna have to do, and you might as well just start in the morning time. Get up, go straight down there and do it.
And who was that? Go Sip and See. Congratulations on sobriety. So this is awful. My kids' dad and I loved it more than our children too. I lived, he didn't. Sober this month since 2016.
I mean, there's. I saw on a YouTube video that I think it was in that Kingston or whatever out there by Philadelphia or whatever. There was a period of time where people were buying methamphetamines and they were ingesting them in whatever way they ingested them, but they were going to sleep right after ingesting them. And they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So they started to call it sleepy dope. And what it was actually was, it was a mixture of cartel stuff that came through, and it had fentanyl in it.
Holy shit.
And it was just an outright, upfront, overt attempt to switch anyone you could, because the science says that some people will use fentanyl one time and be hooked. So if you can even sneak it into them, trick them to use it, now they're asking for it.
Well, these days, I don't think you can even try the one time. You might die after that one time.
That's it.
That's
it. I mean, we all see the videos of police that open up a piece of paper and they're like, oh, yeah, it's a little something in it. I don't know what. And then 10 minutes later, they're on the ground eating Narcan. Yeah. So the cartel is putting that stuff in a lot of things, allegedly, even in the marijuana, the more recreational, less hardcore stuff.
We had a truck of baby formula C's that was found with a bunch of fentanyl and shit in it.
See, here they've been in Texas. There had been reports, in the recent past. They're like, if you find money on the ground, do not pick it up, because they would dose the money and then just throw it on the ground and kind of sit back and watch. And some people would say that's the way they would test the purity. If you could just throw it on the ground and somebody would pick it up and you could watch them fall down and go into it, then you knew that was strong dope and you didn't have to touch it yourself, right? You didn't have to, no one around you had to die because of it. Yeah. So it's all weird. It's almost like some cartel terrorism. And I hate to put it on cartels, but that's what they say. So Cam and Ellie, I just, maybe put your faith first, because that's what they're going to ask you to do in the rooms, man. Reestablish that connection with your higher power and admit that you're powerless over your situation. And then it will immediately start to get better. Maybe even that meeting, So again, I'm not sitting back watching all of this and getting a lot of, or any, there's nothing to be gained from this. There's no entertainment in this. Watching Cam blunder and Allie blunder. This is not entertaining. This is really sad.
It's sad. It's scary.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your ego for Cam, or if he ever disrespected you or belittled you. This isn't about that. This is about putting some parents back with their children after everyone's healthy. Like that's what it's about. Right. And if you don't find that in your heart, then maybe this is the perfect community for you then.
And Cam, call your children and just say, I'm sorry, I love you, and I'm working on it. That's all they need to hear. Not, you didn't see nothing at mommy and daddy's. Mommy and daddy are good people, right? You saw nothing. Okay, don't gaslight the children. Okay? Call them and just say, I love you, I'm sorry, mommy and daddy are going to get better. That's all they need to hear. And I'm saying this quite honestly, okay?
And Cam, they might not even need to hear you address it in the first 30 calls.
Right.
They just need to know that you're alive, bro.
Just say, I love you. Know you're alive and say, I love you.
Yeah, we love you. It's almost my bedtime. Just had something to eat. I'll call you in the morning time. Like, there's no restrictions that I've heard of on him even calling the kids.
Nope,
so
he can call them multiple times. He's welcome to call every day.
Bro, holy shit. In Texas with that charge, boy, it'd be hell to tell the captain, right?
Yeah, and I'll repeat, the family does not want, the family's goal is their son and daughter-in-law get better, you know, their cousin, their sister, their brother, whatever they are to the family. But yeah, the family wants them both to get better and be good parents. Again, the main thing for everybody that I've spoken to, they want the family back together and healed. Okay, they are not trying to kidnap the children or whatever, but for right now, they need to be in a safe place. And yes, I can tell you, they are happy. They are safe. They are having a blast going out and doing things with family members, and you know they're doing good.
And that's nothing to be mad about, Cam.
No,
I know
not.
that Cam's in a weird state of mind, and he's watched
That's
him get
the drugs, though.
I've watched him get upset about things that probably it's like, why'd you just get upset about that? That was weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I know your heads and your chemicals and emotions are all over the place, man. But man, look, bro, I remember talking to you and Blaze on the phone together. Remember, we used to talk about tennis shoes and all the masks he has on the wall. Remember, we used to put Luca and Blaze on the phone together, bro.
Oh.
Remember that, bro? Like, so let's get back to the fight, man. Let's get back to that fight to get right, and get these babies back around, bro. I'm man. I told you. I said, you preaching to the choir. That's the first thing I said to him. He said, this is all fucked up. I was like, you're preaching to the choir, bro.
Yep. But again, Cam, you don't need a real friend is going to do exactly what Benny just did.
Bro.
Call you and go to the hard spots, not just tell you what you need to hear or coddle you, Cam and Allie. It's not what you need right now.
I don't
a good
give
friend
a
does
shit
exactly
about
what Benny
no
just
telephone call with you, bro.
Yep.
I want to see you alive, bro. This ain't no Brad with Sean situation. Like, bro, this is not that. Like, you're gonna have to let go of that YouTube. If you've really made some good friends here, you're gonna have to trust somebody from here, or you know, in your private life, whatever that is, bro. But man, you're gonna have to start swinging back, bro.
And they can do it. And think about, you know, okay, they better themselves, they get their children back, their family heals, they come back to YouTube, and they really can advocate. And man, what a story they will have where they can truly understand many different aspects of cases then. And
I would agree.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
they definitely would have, you know, sort of an insider, a terrible experienced insider's look at the system there.
But they'd be able to better help and understand because of it. And I don't think that's anything to be mad at. Maybe this is what God wants of them. I don't know. But just get better and please don't die.
No, and that's the thing, Cam. Like, I know when I was in my desperation, bro, you think about a lot of different things, you know, and when you're thinking about them, another thing I would tell you to tell yourself all the time is you could think about it, man. Just don't talk about them, bro, and try to stop thinking about them. Like, don't do nothing stupid. Like, this isn't forever, bro. This isn't for the rest of your life or the rest of their lives. This is just a bump in the road. So, you know, if you're thinking wild, crazy things in your mind, I'm not saying you are, but if you are, man, don't do it, bro. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to put the shovel down, bro. As soon as you put that shovel down, the light starts coming to you. You don't even have to go towards it. It's gonna find you, bro. So
I want to play this video because I've had it up.
You know, try to find a course and remain on it, bro. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you, Ms. Cher.
Thank you. Well, damn.
And Cam, you got my number, bro. You one of 3 people that got my number, bro. So hit me up. Thank you, Cher. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Thank you.
Love you. Yeah, I bet people thought this was just going to be a bash fest. But you know what? Me and Benny, like, we've lived a life too, you know? So, sure, I'm not friendly with Cam and Allie. And maybe they'll never be friendly with me, but that's okay. As long as I see them, like, on their channel alive and well and being a mom and dad again, cool, you know? Yeah, your wife and kids need you to fight. Yeah.
Hatred can be considered a form of obsession when some constantly focuses on negative feelings towards others, it can consume their thoughts, make it difficult for them to think.
Like you watch yourself back, right, Cam? Or do you not? Because like, truly, you need to go back and watch yourself. Who'd I hear say that? Tiffany Marie. You and your wife need to truly sit back and watch yourself, because you should be embarrassed, and half your content should not even be up on your channel. I'm not going to take away of the good things you've done in Summer's case, because you've done good things in Summer's case. But holy shit, dude, you should not be worried about any other case or any other people's children right now in time. And you should not have been, actually, probably the entire time, unfortunately. And that's super sad. That's really actually super sad. But this is scary. And this isn't the first one either. There's many like this, where you do many streams like
their
this.
thoughts, make it difficult for them to think. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, man. Allison.
Now, yeah, after that is when he's about to try and pretend like that was just praying. So, bro, your children were there for that too. Yeah, with a cigarette, as he so often did. Yeah, that's not to drag. That's it's scary. The kids were scared. They said something, and so they were taken out of the situation. And I don't know how you can be mad at that, Cam, because you know darn well that they were scared. You also know everything else that I'm not saying tonight and that I won't say tonight, but you know that I know it. You know that I know exactly what you're being charged for and what you've done and what you've allowed to happen in your household. And that is scary. Scary. Because wouldn't that be some shit? You get all fucked up and you nod out. Your wife's doping up. I don't know. Maybe your kids are running around and grab some of your drugs and taste it. I don't know. I've heard it in other cases. That shit happens. And then all of a sudden you wake up and your wife and your kids won't wake up. Do you ever get scared of that? How about you, Allie? Do you ever get scared that you might wake up and roll over and your husband's ice cold? Ever worry about your kids getting into something or ingesting something they shouldn't? And it's this isn't even hate. It's actually very possible with with the track you guys are on. And that scares the hell out of me. And I don't know if there's much more that I can even say. But frickin' A. Throw those needles out before something bad happens. And have a long conversation with God. Thank you, Punksy. I will see y'all tomorrow. Don't use this to go and bash them, because what they truly need right now is prayer. And they need support, but not enabling. There is a difference. Do you guys understand that? Don't enable them. Do not send them money right now, because I promise you it's going in their vein or up their nose. That's not me being a hater. That's me trying to look out for them. That one of you guys don't buy them the hit that kills them. Bye.